As a part of our refresher, let's talk about 3 discounted present value formulas that are used frequently. And those concepts are present value, net present value, and internal rate of return. All 3 of them are very closely related mathematically. But let me go through them and explain it to you on what they are. First of all, present value is simply this. It is the value today of a future stream of payments, which are discounted at your required rate of return. In other words, when you use this formula, you're saying something like this. If my required rate of return is 15%, well then, what is the present value today of a series of payments in the future? And in this case, the first example is, if I have a series of payments of $1,000 per period for 5 years, what's the value of that today, assuming I have a required rate of return? I must make 15% on this investment. How much, therefore, would I pay for this series of payments? And here, the net present value of this series of payments discounted at 15% is $3,352.16. Let's take this now one step further. There is also one other mathematical concept that's used in real estate investment analysis. Net present value. What is that? That's simply a concept which takes into consideration the price that is paid for the investment. So in this case, we were presented with an investment which has these projected future income streams, $1,000 per year or per period for the term of the investment. And still, my required rate of return is 15%. If I pay $3,352.16 for that investment, then the net present value of that investment is actually 0. And what does that mean? It means the price that I have paid, this money goes out, is exactly the value of that income stream discounted at 15%. It has a 0 net present value. The next one here is the internal rate of return. What this is showing is simply that return which equates this future stream of income, this $1,000 per year over a 5-year period, back to my initial investment. And so what this in essence is doing is it's equated this stream of payments to that outflow initially to come up with the rate of return on this. Since I have paid exactly the value of that income stream discounted at 15%, well, my internal rate of return must be 15%. So let me change the numbers a little bit here and show you exactly what I'm talking about. Let's assume that I don't want to pay $3,352 for that income stream. In fact, I'm only going to pay $2,000. What this is telling me, the net present value, is that this investment has a positive value. I paid only $2,000 for it, but it is worth more than that if my required rate of return is 15%. It's worth $1,175 more than what I paid for it. And then when I look at the internal rate of return, if I only paid $2,000 for it and I received the same income stream, the return that I will make is 41%. Okay, you see how these numbers are all interrelated. What if I paid $4,000 for this? and my required rate of return is 15%. And so 4,000 is more than what the value is. So what happens? Well, I will have paid $563 more than this thing is worth. It has a negative net present value of $563. And by paying $4,000 for this, my internal rate of return drops to 7.93%. I think I'm just going to leave it there. All I'm demonstrating to you today is just more of a math concept, and I hate to get into this because this is the part that is least liked by everybody. A lot of people don't even want to hear anything about the math of real estate investment. But I want you to see it one time so you understand exactly what these numbers are when they're being thrown around. Okay, that's it for this section, and let's just move on. Thank you.